Hello everybody, this is Bulldozer Investing. Today is February 16th, 2021. It is 4:07 p.m. Before I begin the analysis, I'd like to give an information. If you're watching this video, if you go to youtube.com and watch it and just click on the video description button, you'll see the timestamp bookmark so you can jump onto your interest of the ticker that you have requested or would like to quickly review back and forth, so that would help you a lot. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll start with VIX. Today was an interesting day with VIX. Basically what happened, this is the daily chart, and I like to look at the daily chart on VIX. As you can see, the VIX chart, it's just hitting that downtrend and coming back. Not a huge, it is 7.6%, but if you were to look at it, it's still not able to reclaim the 9-day moving average. So that's one thing that we like to observe. If we do get above this downtrend, then it can go all the way up to 25.51. But for now, I think it's still bearish. It might be a bear flag here, but I don't see any like huge VIX spike to say that, okay, you know, markets might head down backwards. But for now, VIX, all it is it's bearish. It's trying to reclaim that lower boundary channel that we drew. Nothing special on VIX so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at SPY. What's going on with SPY? Again, nothing bearish. Yeah, we try to break over this upper trend channel that we drew, and it kind of got stuck. It started the day pretty good, and then kind of declined a little bit. Not a big day, again, 0.09%. If it does go back and we get like a huge down day, I see the 389.14, which was the level we talked about. If it does come there, that'll be a great support. For now, my target is $402 on SPY. Next up is QQQ. We're kind of doing this fast because, you know, we've been doing the analysis videos for the past, you know, couple months, and things don't change in a single day. Again, QQQ looks okay, nothing bearish. Again, the support is 332.50s. My target on QQQ is 344.75. A little more decline on QQQ than SPY, but again, I don't think QQQ looks bearish, and the support is not that far down, so you should be okay with QQQ. Let's take a look at Russell. Russell broke out of the flag that we drew last time of our analysis and came back down and landed basically right below 226.18 was support, and it's like a couple cents off of the support. I see that the 9-day moving average is pretty close towards the 224.11. I think that should be a support level where it could take the bounce. Watching this carefully, I think it's just a flag. Again, a lot of the names here that we're looking at, the indexes are flagging. Although people are bearish on these small moves, I don't see any bearish action yet looking at the daily chart. And again, you like to look at the charts overall. So, I mean, I would be fine seeing 218s on Russell, and I wouldn't be scared because that's the channel. It's on an uptrend, and 1-2% week or two. Like, we have to look at the things on the weekly side as well. I know I haven't looked at the weekly on the other indexes, but as you can see, the weekly candles are pretty good. It's just moving up. Target is 239.36, just ballpark 240 on Russell. Let's switch back to the daily. Next up is Apple. So I'm going to review like the FANG stocks today. Although they weren't requested, a lot of people are wondering what, you know, the moments are on the FANG stocks. So we'll go ahead and look at Apple really quick. Apple, again, in this range, I've told you many times, don't expect Apple to like move up big these days. Again, the 9-day moving average was a resistance, and the support is right off this channel that we drew the flag. I believe Apple could go all the way down to 131 as I mentioned before previously, and I'm still bullish on Apple, but you got to give some time, let it do its thing. 138 is very critical. It needs to reclaim that area for the next run. which I would say that it would be above 150, and by summer I'm expecting at least 190 by Apple. Okay. Next up is Amazon. Amazon is stuck in this trend. It went out of this pennant, the red pennant. If you see the watch the lines carefully, and again, it's not able to reclaim that area. Back 9-day moving average was a resistance, and many of the names here that we just looked at, Apple 9-day moving average was a resistance. I'd say 3,227 would be a good support for Amazon. The lowest support I see, which meets up with the channel, the fib retracement, is 3158. The top, as I see, Amazon could lead up to like 3400s and some, but again, we need to see a bounce. This could potentially be a double bottom. Let me take a picture of it so you guys can see it, better. So this could potentially be a double bottom, and you can draw an extension with these bottoms to figure out the next targets. I just happen to think that it'll be a bounce here and then move up towards the upper end of this channel, which is around the 3400s. Okay. Worst comes to worst, it could get a support from here and then move up, which coincides with the channel and the bottom of the cloud. So we'll see how that happens. This channel, the bottom channel, is an area that you probably would want to get Amazon, because we see the previous support off of this channel, and it could head up at the top of the channel. Okay. Next up is Facebook. I haven't covered Facebook for some time now. Facebook a little bit more bearish than Amazon. Amazon, I see it as a little more bullish. See, Amazon is at the upper end of the channel on the pennant, whereas Facebook is trying to get inside that pennant, and that pennant line that we drew, which again meets up with our Fibonacci retracement at 276, is going to be a big resistance. I do like the motion on Facebook. It's moving slowly rather, but I see the support being at 268s for now. If it does come down there, that would be a good bounce play, but all the moving averages does look bullish. MACD is getting up, so I'm kind of bullish on Facebook for now. I like the MACD, stochastics, RSI, all the internals look good. The crossover on the moving day averages look good. And then the support is not that far down, which is 268. It does need to get over 276, by the way, to start its next run. As you can see, this yellow box and the fib lines as a resistance for now. Okay, I see it moving towards 283 in the near future. Next up is Netflix. We mentioned that we were going to review all the FANG stocks, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't think I'm going to review Google, but let's go ahead and do Netflix. So Netflix is again on a pennant. It's very much like most of these stocks, the FANG stocks, they're kind of stuck in a pennant. And this motion of dropping and trying to reclaim looks kind of like Apple and how Facebook looks like. It's getting a support at 9-day moving average. The internals aren't that bad. I think that after the earnings, it just dropped, kind of getting rested here. I do see a support right nearby the 240s, 245, 240 to 245. If it does go there, it'll be a potential bounce towards the 578. 578 area is a resistance. Even though we broke above it, I think that's your next resistance is 578. I'm neutral on Netflix. If we do come down to 534, that would be a good bounce play, and the maybe the 50-day moving average, but we'll see. I don't like this rounding top right here that's forming, but the moving day averages has been a pretty good support so far. We'll see how that goes. As far as the names that we've reviewed, I do like Amazon and Facebook better than Netflix at this point. Next stock on the list is NVDA. It has its earnings coming up. I don't like when stocks move up before the earnings, but out of all the names, you saw Amazon, you saw Facebook, they had the similar type of pattern, the pennant. Netflix, however, managed to break above, and it's moving towards 648. If after earnings, if it does move to 648, that would be a resistance. However, all the moving day averages, internals look pretty bullish. I would like to see a support at 588 for a confirmation. I'm not saying that it's going to drop there, but if it does drop there and get a bounce, that would be a bullish move. I think that it should just drop before the earnings towards 588 for the next potential run up towards the 648s. That would be my target. Okay. Next up on our list is AMD. We haven't reviewed AMD for some time. Wow, I like the chart. Okay. I really like this chart. So AMD actually is trying to reclaim the cloud top, and it's getting a support on the 9-day and 20. And then I like that the 9-day is crossed already over the 20-day moving average. I want to see AMD reclaim the 50-day moving average on the daily, which is at $92. If it does, it's going to test. As you can see, this has been the cloud top has been a resistance, and that resistance is sitting at 94.31. My target is 95 and 98 on AMD. If you draw another channel here, you can also make sure that you want to basically get over this channel as well. It's basically a descending megaphone, which is usually bullish on a breakout. So you want to pay attention on this trend line and on top of the cloud. If it reclaims that for a couple days, I think it's going to head towards 110 if I remember this correctly, 120. So AMD long target would be 120. You can also draw a trend line going towards like this. So it could bounce after the touching the 100% fib, come back and so forth. But your first target should always be the shortest term, so that's 95 and 98 should be your target for now. Our next ticker is Blue. It had a down day today. This is one of the stocks that I've been watching for a long time. What is this, aftermarket? So what happened aftermarket? It's a little bit up a couple cents. I don't know how the reaction would be after this drop. It lost the cloud. It lost all the moving averages with a heavy volume. Let's take a look at the weekly to see. Oh, sorry. To see where the stock is coming from. I know the $40 range had been a pretty good support on the previous years, but this does not look good when we lost the 40 range, that $43, as you can see. Let me go ahead and draw this. So this range has been a pretty solid support for the stock, and it lost it. I can't say anything at this point because we don't know the bottom. I don't want to do bottom fishing. That's really dangerous. We want to see some momentum in the stock at least before we dive in. But for all you know, let me go ahead and, if it allows me to. Okay, there you go. So this is your channel. So it could go down as far as, wow, $3. I hope not. But this is a weekly chart though. This is the weekly channel. So you know, wow. So you're looking at a dangerous situation here, but I'd say that like if you were to get in, you'd play the $40 range, but it's anybody's land at this point. I don't know how far it can go. I don't want to say it's going to go down as $2. That's what the long-term channel is, but I hope not. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't be in this name right now, and if you were in the name, um, I can't tell you to cut loss or anything. Huge gap down. It's a tremendous drop, 37%. I didn't check the news of what it is because it dropped. It says aftermarket unless the earnings were before market. I don't know if this was a drop due to an earnings or some kind of news, so I have to check that out. But I'm kind of upset that this stock lost the 43. You see these like supports right here, right here, right here. It lost that support, so I don't know where it's going. Next stock on our list is Corsair. I think it sold something, some part of its business, and that's why it dropped. I couldn't check the news. Earnings weren't that bad. It was okay. The stock, I think, is just moving technical to get a support on the channel. Let me go ahead and show you where that is. So you're looking at either the 50-day moving average or the cloud top to go ahead and buy the dip opportunity. If it loses this orange downtrend that we drew, which is like sitting at the bottom of the cloud, which is around 37, that's a good buying opportunity for the next run towards 47s. But if that channel is lost, then you're looking at around 33s, 32s for another further drop. I like the company. I like the stock. You also want to watch this channel right here. So this is your potential play. Maybe around 37s would be a good entry point, or a quick bounce back towards the 41.89, which is your 61.8 Fibonacci levels. Okay. So far we just have to sit and watch the breakout and the curling bottom to see how that plays. Huge drop today, 7%, but most of the names were like that. Next up is CYDY. Not familiar with the name, so I'm just gonna Cytodian Inc. I can't even pronounce it, but the chart doesn't look that bad. I see a potential cup and handle. You see the double bottom and a run. So it bounced off the cloud, coming back. The chart doesn't look bad, honestly. There's two types of cup and handle. There's a big picture and a small one. So I'll go ahead and show you what they are. There's this huge cup and handle, okay? That's one. So if it breaks out of the $7 range, it could go and hit the all-time highs easily. So let's go ahead and show you the small cup and handle with the smaller time frame, or the same time frame but the smaller range here. So again, you see a cup and handle. So you'll see how this plays out. The chart doesn't look bad. It looks good. I like the chart. Let's go ahead and show you where it could potentially go to. Since I don't know, like when I don't know the name and I don't watch the daily actions, I can't really, I'm hesitant to like say anything. So there you go, your support and resistance. Let's zoom in. So the resistance is sitting at 161.8 Fibonacci level, which is 622. Revisit to 553 could be possible because of the downward direction of the 9-day. 20 is still increasing. However, since I don't know the stock that well, I just have to sit and watch this stock and see what goes on. Okay. Other than that, the chart doesn't look bad for a long-term play. Next up on our list, actually, let me bring back. I've just there you go. So next up on our list is I'm sorry, typed that wrong. DBX, Dropbox. Ah, wow. Okay, I haven't checked Dropbox for some time, but I do like the chart. It's bullish, and let me show you. Remember, I keep telling you guys when I look at the chart, I observe a couple things here. I love the rounding bottom. I love the breakout, which went into a bullish formation. And then let me show you the bigger picture the first formation, or the shape that I saw was the cup and handle. Love this play. It's getting a support at these previous tops, which was a resistant. So if this drops back to like $24 area, that's perfectly fine. Any break above 25 is going to be a super bullish run for this name. So let me go ahead and get you guys the levels for this stock. I mean, I've honestly haven't used Dropbox for years. Due to the fact that I've been using other like Google and Apple, but clearly the support is 25, the resistance is 25, next level is 25.8. So if you $25.84, if you break above, there's going to be a huge bullish run. I say my long target on this one would be 32 bucks. I love the chart. Any chartist you show this chart to, they're gonna love this chart. Again, I don't know where the business is heading towards, but I definitely love the chart. Okay.
Ben çıkayım ya.
So next up here on the list is FUBO, which I just had my friend. You've probably seen like the message sounds like a couple minutes ago. My friend was going nuts messaging me, and I just saw he was like, "Look at FUBO, look at FUBO." I saw. It's like, why is he so like pumped up? The stock went up big after hours. And look where it went. Are we surprised? Guys, these lines that I draw, I don't know if I'm just a lucky guy or if I'm just like a professor of charts. I like to be humble and I like to say that I don't know crap, but I mean, what have you guys seen anything like this, right? Any charts that we tend to draw and it just goes in and like touches, it just touches to the cent, to the single cent. Okay. So this, rather you say that it's a coincidence or rather you think I'm a god or something, I say that I'm the most stupid person alive. I don't know anything, guys. I mean, honestly, if you're taking me seriously, you shouldn't. There's so many great people. I'm just a beginner here. So if you can learn one or two things here on my channel, I'll be very happy. So just coming back to FUBO, right? It bounced towards the 55, what is it? 45, 46, which is not a big deal actually. We were 46 bucks anyways. I don't see the hype of my friend here. I'm expecting a lot bigger from this stock. So basically, if we can start the day tomorrow, which is pretty good actually. Numero holdings of 8. So a lot of people, the institutional buy is tremendous on this name, guys. Ridiculously high. Okay. So you're looking at people that are buying this left and right, old institutions. I guess they have a reason just before the earnings. They're not that stupid to buy something before the earnings knowing that it's going to crash. I love the decline of the volume on this decline. I love the cup and handle. This is going to be a tremendous run. I see FUBO in the near future, maybe this week, maybe next week, at least hitting it towards the 53, 54 level, which is right here. Coming out of this wedge, which it will tomorrow, and eventually see maybe a resistance towards the 47 area, just like today. But you got to be patient with this stock. A lot of people that are messaging me on Twitter, they're really impatient. You go in this stock, you're here for at least 3, 4 months. A lot of people are spoiled by the market action these days that they think that anytime they invest, they're going to see a 20% the next day. Not that much. You see the rewards bigger on a longer term. So if you were to buy this at $9 and sell this at 13 and move on, you missed that big run to $62. So I think we're in a stage where, like, you know, at 40s, you might sell the stock at 52, 55, and then next thing you know, by the end of the year, this thing is $109. So this is a stock you buy and hold, and whatever it takes for you to be not able to look at this for a year, that's the amount you get, and you just forget about the stock, okay? Look at this cup and handle, okay? The breakout above this 161.8 Fibonacci, it's going to take you right towards here, which is $76, and which has been my target on the shorter term side. I said that I'm expecting it by March 15th to hit $76 area. Now, would I be a seller there? We'll talk about Palantir in a second. I might sell some. Okay. So the next stock here is INUV. Okay. INUV. Yeah. Although I don't know much about the company, I like the chart. I like the holding. Now remember, this 20-day has to hold in order for the next run to happen. But I love this curling bottom. Again, a correction coming up. So this chart looks good. These names that I keep mentioning, if you're in these names, what you want to do is buy enough so that it doesn't worry you. You're not stressed out about it. Look at this. So I randomly connected a couple dots out of, my experience of looking in. A lot of people might, do different points. Here or there, you might miss like a couple cents or something, but that's fine. If I were to collaborate this, I think it should be like touching the 50%. I just did it like, not zoomed out. I believe that the next target is going back to 2 and 227. Your long-term target should be $4 on this one. Again, I don't know what kind of business or news this company is waiting for just looking at the chart. Your support area should be anywhere from $1.41 to $1.35. So that's how you buy these names, because they tend to, like, shoot up from $1.20 to $2. That's like 75, 80% move. and next thing you know, from $2 it's back to 150, so 50-cent loss. So you want to know where to buy this, or when you do buy it with your eyes closed, you want to make sure that you buy a little bit and knowing the risk of dropping 50 cents dollar the next couple weeks. However, averaging down, so you see this like 235 drop down to $1.20. Um, it could happen. So this could happen to drop another couple 10-20 cents. That's fine. But if you're playing these types of names and that's your kind of thing, like you like to catch things on the fly, so you don't want to get caught up into this, right? That's why I say that if you lose the cloud or if you're under the cloud, don't touch anything unless you're breaking and you're well above, then it's kind of safer to play. All I can say here is that these names can be dangerous at times. Let's go ahead and do the downtrend as well, just to have you guys, think about how far it could drop. So just exactly what we pointed without drawing the extension. Sometimes I can just eyeball things and say, this is the range. What do we say? The bottom of the cloud, 135, which matches exactly to the golden ratio of Fibonacci, 61.8. Your first level of support would be 148, which I said about 135. So I think your major support would be here. Yeah, I'd have to like make sure that I readjust these levels. So I could be off like couple cents here and there. Forgive me for that because I'm just doing these really quickly and I'm reviewing like 20 names and at a one time the charts that I've never seen before. So watch out for these levels. This would be a good support level for the next run. If you're in the name for a long term, I think $4 should be your target. Not knowing what kind of news or product this company is planning on or waiting on. Okay. Next up on our list is LAZR, which is Luminar, the company. Luminar Technologies. Again, when I give these levels, when I review the charts, you always have to watch where you need to take the profit and wait for a bounce or get the way to get in. We mentioned a couple of times that our target is 61.8. Even though it looks like it would cross above during the day and it just pulls down, there's a reason because it's a strong resistance. Our ultimate target for this name is $56. It's definitely bullish. I love the rounding bottom. I love the chart. It's just that this name can go from 5% up to 5% down during the same day. So it's very volatile. You have to know, again, I'm saying this specifically, you have to know how much your initial investment is. Consider it knowing that it's volatile stock. You don't want to go in all the way in and then, get hurt. If you caught the name here during the day at $40, now you're sitting at 35. That's $5. Give or take $4.50. I'm just ballpark, like, rounding up numbers. So even though the chart might look good, depending where you got in and how much you got in, it will hurt you. So when you get into these names, especially in this type of market, the bond yields actually went up. I think that's why the market kind of dropped. I love the rounding bottom. What you want to see is, and we are already seeing it, that the downtrend is broken. So anywhere here, it might form a cup, that cup and handle here. That's fine. The trading range will be heavily here. Okay. Until and unless we break these points, which is the 61.8, then you're going above this, pulling back for a bigger cup and handle, and then going up to the $56 range that we have mentioned. So your first target should be $45.92, maybe all-time high, and then $56. But again, pay attention on the wording. If you got in this name, you have to make sure that your initial investment or your initial entry is not too much, so that you pick up those, like, you're at 5% up, you're not selling it, but you're -5 at the end of the day. We'll see this. I'll show you the 5-minute chart. $40. Okay, you're not selling, and then bam. So it's a double bottom here on the 5 minutes, and this 5-minute chart seems like a $35 area would be a great support. That's why you saw some reaction. Volume again is very non-existent. That's why it's volatile. I believe like companies and big groups can control these types of stocks and just shake out people. And due to the fact that some of the EV names, EV sector is kind of on the slow down, kind of pull down on the brakes, is affecting this stock as well. I had two people request this. It is I think this was the stock LKCO, if I'm correct. Luokung Technology. So it's probably an ADR, or maybe, I don't know what it is. It seems Asian. So I'm expecting it to be an Asian stock. Not that I have anything against it. Huge volume, huge up, so huge update, huge volume. Even at the end of the day, it closed 88%. I can't imagine what percentage it was at the top of the day, or the high point of the day. So I can't really chart this on the daily, and nobody can. I mean, I'm sorry. You're looking at this chart, and you're like, how am I supposed to chart this? Auto zoom. Okay. You can't chart this. So you either have to do a couple things. First, you have to look at the overall picture during the weekly. It basically on the weekly, touch the top of the cloud, which is kind of dangerous. You do want to pull back and buy the gap downs. So you see how close it got to the top of the cloud. You want to buy this somewhere around the previous day high, which is around like $1.79. That's one thing. I'm not saying it can drop there, but if you're a value investor and you're looking for, weekly chart. If you're looking at a swing and you're looking at the daily chart or the hourly chart, then that's a different perspective. The whole game will change, and you can see a clear channel from, I'd say, here and from here. Okay. Now, if this hits, so the bottom of the channel is nearly the 20-day moving average, which is around $2.23. Your next move up should be around like $3.61. Now we're gonna have to go back and do 4 hours and 30 minutes just to readjust. I have to really go ahead and play around with this chart to tell you a target. And not knowing what the company does, it's very difficult for me to tell you exactly where the price targets are on the upside. Downside is pretty obvious. You're just looking for the gap downs, right? So you can do something like this, which is pretty much accurate. Okay, so this could play the technical on the 30 minutes. You can play the technical for a short-term swing trade. If it bounces off of $2.54, you're looking at your next resistance around $3, which is at the closing price. Now at the after hours, it's around $2.67, which is sitting right above the 20-day moving average. Again, don't forget that this is a 30-minute chart and my evaluation is only for a short-term swing trade here. I'd say if you're looking to buy really deep, so if it goes down, curling down here, around 240s, 245s, where the bottom of the cloud is, 248, and then you're going to look for the next run up to $3 and then 379 around the top of the channel. So playing the bottom of the channel towards the top of the channel would be a technical swing idea. Okay. Other than that, again, it's very, very hard to say anything on these types of stocks. One reason being is that I don't know why the company moved up that much. 88% a day. That's huge. I really would be careful trading these types of names, knowing that you could lose that 88% gain in a single day. So just watch out. Next stock is NNDM. So NNDM, as you can see, reached our target a little bit above that quick, spike on the 30 minutes, and then bam, like it went down, kind of lost the fib channels too. So let's take a look. Let's zoom out on the daily. Basically, I love NNDM, and I've been bullish on NNDM, and I'm bullish on the weekly chart, and I told you guys how it broke, and my target is like $40 eventually by year's end, so maybe end of next year. Stock has a lot of potential. Okay, it is an ADR. I think it's an Israeli-based company. Love the technology. I don't really care which company it's based off of. I'm just pointing out where, some information here and there for you guys. So what I do think about this chart is that it's kind of hanging right in the middle of the pitchfork. This pitchfork has been a pretty good sign for us. So anytime that either you're going to play the bounce from here. So this is your own risk, but I'll tell you a couple scenarios. So what's going to happen? Let's go ahead and draw so you can see it visually instead of my mouse pointer, moving up and down. It's either going to bounce from here and go hit that 50% Fibonacci level. Okay, that's one scenario. Or it's going to go here, you see this cloud top area? You see this cloud top area? Okay, that's where its support is right now. That's where the cloud top is, but you can see that it could potentially drop, which it did, and it kind of like did a fake breakdown, which it could do that, and these moving averages could come up and support them, support the price, other candles, and then eventually move up to its next, highs. So that's going to be your target. You either get in here and play that bounce, or you either want to get in here small and then, play the bounce and go in heavy at the bottom of the channel. Then that's your choice. That's how much, like a dollar range, like, what is it right now? 1453, 1464 after hours. So if it does touch the bottom of the channel, that's 1275, give or take $2. So you'd have to do your own math and due diligence. My ultimate target for this one is above $20. You could say that you're seeing a mini cup and handle, which is a strong indicator here. Again, you got to get used to these formations, right? Cup and a descending. I love this powerful formation. If it does break out, you're going to see the $20. Of course, the resistance being at the 61.8 level, which is sitting at 1828. I bet you everybody would take that right now, like be like, okay, it's 1460, I'll sell it at 1828. But again, you're playing long for this stock. $21, $26 should be your target. And you should always have some cash on the side because it's a volatile stock. Look at this cup and handle play. Look at this play and how much it went up, okay? You see this mini cup and a handle, and it just went up. So you see the same formation, but a bigger, it's more apparent, okay? So you just want to be patient with this name and this channel, the middle channel, upper, mid, up, mid, up. So it loses, it's going to go back to 1260, somewhere around there. So you got to watch out for that, but I wouldn't be scared of the stock. So speaking of, being scared going down and so forth that we did with NNDM, now it's Palantir, and I bet you a lot of people are freaked out about the drop. I've deleted some. I worked on some. A lot of requests came in during the day from my friends. I told my friends, and I probably told everybody, with including you guys, that I would be hesitant. I'd wait after the earnings. I'd wait after the lockup period, and then get in. Because I told you guys many times that it feels like this drop. It's very similar. And now let me go ahead and take a picture of it, and then show you guys what I meant. And if you listen to my previous Palantir, I'm bullish on it. But see this spike, drop back, founding a bottom, and a fake run up. Drop. Oop, that was a messed up drawing. Sorry. So you see the drop, finding a bottom, fake breakout, and then bam. So this is where I got caught. I bought here. I mentioned many times I bought here, I sold here, bought somewhere around here, and then I sold at the very top of this. And it was coming down, and I got in at the 9-day moving average, thinking that it will support. Since then I got it, for that 2 weeks it kept dropping. So that's why I kept telling people, don't get sucked into the breakout, because it could very well be the same scenario as we saw here. And I said that, you can watch my videos. Your safest bet would be to go back, and I said right here, I posted a tweet, I said this is a potential bounce and this is a potential double bottom, but then the earnings it will change everything. And the lockup, so you could see a drop to cloud bottom and then run up and then get a reconfirmation and then go up. I don't know how the lockup is going to work. It could be a total, different. A lot of people might think the stock is going to go down, and then Kathy can come in here and buy it. I think our average is like 25, 26. That's where it is. I saw Kathy buying it right around here. So why not, when it comes back to here, Kathy might, I'm not speculating, I'm just saying if I was her, that's what I would do. Maybe if you know, if it goes down here, I doubt it, but which is where it's sitting at like 22.50s, $23. That I would probably sell my FUBOs and get back into Palantir. I'm not, you know, doing that scenario now, but unfortunately, the bounce didn't happen, and I thought the bounce technically would happen if the earnings were good, but it just didn't. Last earnings, it wasn't as of a big drop. It just picked up and ran. This earnings with a heavy volume. Okay. Last earnings, I mean, the volume was big as well, but not as big as this one, considering how much you know, the stock was worth. What it was, $15 around the last earnings. The stock was worth like 30 some dollars this earning, and consider the value, the volume on this. I am expecting a bounce back towards the cloud top. I just need, like I said, I don't like to catch things while it's falling. I love to see the cloud. You see this like cup and a handle? I'll show you this. Cup and a handle, and that breakout was beautiful. So you want to see that. You want to see that with this one. You want to make sure the stock stays here a couple days, or maybe falls and like all the weekends get out. The company is great. My ultimate target here is $55 on this top of the channel. It's just that we have to admit what it is. The earnings got sold off. Damage is done. That's why I always say 50% cash, 50% stocks. If you want to stay 100% cash, at least do like what I did today. I had like 40% cash and 60% stocks. I went in and put that whole 40% on ARK, GRK, ARK F. I'm treating it as if a cash position. I mean, it could go 2% down today, 2% up tomorrow. If it brings me like 5% while while I need that cash, then I'm fine with it. You got to build some strategy and not think that everything is going to shoot up to the moon. So next stock here is, I keep saying stop for some reason, POLA. So POLA, it needs time. The MACD, stochastics, RSI, everything looks bearish. The bearish crossover on the moving day averages, but you never know because it's sitting at the support level of the previous prices, and then at the bottom of the cloud is pointing out the same price level of today's lows. And if you look at the, so this could be like a counterplay. This could be something like a triangle play, but these are very dangerous. So if you lose this triangle, if you lose this low here, it could drop heavily. Now let me go ahead and do Fibonacci so I could tell you where the upside is. So you can do like risk reward analysis. So you're expecting the stock, and again, I don't like to give targets, and this is not a definite one. I don't know the stock at all. Polar Power, I don't know, it sounds like a solar company or some type of hydrogen like plug or something. It could go all the way up to $58 if it breaks out. Of course, I would like to be conservative and say $29 first. But if it breaks down, that's when you need the dry powder because it's going to go to $10. So that is your risk, your reward. You're going to say we're at 16, upside is 29, downside is 10. So you do your own risk analysis and cash position on this one. But what I could tell you is that it's gonna stick around somewhere here like for another week because the internals are not ready for any move, neither to the downside or the upside. 1 or 2% moves I wouldn't freak out about, but I would say if you lose critical points, then that's a problem. Your first resistance before the fib though is going to be the cloud top area, which is $20.50 around there. So that's POLA's analysis. Next stock is REZZF, Global Battery and Metals. It clinched on the 9-day moving average. Now when again, declining volume, MACD is still okay, stochastics okay, RSI is picking up. I think this is due for a bounce, but I'd like to see the 4 hours on this one because I can judge better and chart better on the 4 hours than hour on a chart like this. Not any chart, but charts that are really on the impulsive, breakouts. You need to see shorter term. So you're looking at a potential of previous highs, and your ultimate like long-term target should be $3.16. But again, on the 4 hours at least, it is fitting somewhat to my criterias. So what is my criteria, which I've explained it many times before? You get this rounding bottom and the descending channel that might come back, get a support at these, cloud top levels. As soon as it breaks out, then it goes up. That's one thing, and the support is going to be your cloud bottom, which is this area here, which is the bottom of this candle. That's gonna be your support worst case scenario. Again, these companies are always the battery companies and marijuana, solar companies. These are all at your risk type of place. It could shoot 100% or it could go down as far as 80 cents, 56 cents. It's a penny stock status, so you treat it as a penny stock. Because if you were to invest in this at $11, you'll be all out at $1.52. Forget that. You'd be out like way before that. The fact that the 9-day moving average was a support for a big time, now it's like regaining it. It's positive, but it has to regain also to 20-day moving average, and these have to cross back up. So this tells me that this stock has some time. Okay, a week or two. On the daily action, I like the drying up volume on the price decline, which tells me it's positive. And I like the support around this cloud top, which is around like 85 cents, 82 cents. So it's pretty good. Again, at your own risk, I gave you the targets, but also think about the downside as well, around 50 cents. I see the breakout today, kind of closed red, but we'll see what happens. This would be a very nice risk reward play. I can say that. Next up is SEC Limited. I love the breakout on this. It's a flag and it broke out. Of course, it didn't break out completely, but I'll show you what I'm seeing in the chart. Okay. I'm going to draw an extension. So it's going to be the bottom, top, and the bottom. That'll be my extension. This is probably going to be like 161.8 most likely. I love the breakout of this flag, and I think it has a way to go. If it retests this flag and then goes, don't worry. If it retests the 9-day moving average and go, don't worry. Because it did that here, right? It bounced off and went tremendously. Now, it has earnings. Again, I don't know. Like any earnings, so any trajectory or any analysis I do, earnings can mess it up, just like Palantir. I mean, I always post the charts that I'm correct on, but Palantir, I kind of messed up on that. Yeah, that's 100%. Right here, I would say, actually, if I should bring this, yeah, this would be more accurate. Yeah, exactly what I thought. I pulled it back too much. Remember I said this top would be 161.8. That's what I thought. Your target should be 325 on this. A lot of people, got stuck here. Even I remember like even at 200s, right? Went down even further. Look at the 50-day moving average. So this is what I'm talking about. When you get in a stock and it goes down, you get frustrated and you sell and then it starts going up. Well, you either look at the place that you're getting into, and if it's highs, all-time highs, then you gotta, go in slowly. Go in slowly so that you can average the heck out here and then make, boatload of money when it moves up. And then it freaks you out again. I don't know what this news was, or maybe the Russell going down, that we had a, correction or a little pullback, not a correction, and then it moved up again. So it's either going to be a long-term stock for you, or it's either going to be quick trade. That's your decision. I think this is a buy and hold type of stock. Looking at the weekly, I know it has gained so much, but consistently. So I'm wondering what the earning reports are going to be like. Any positive news, this can go to 325. Any negative news, this can go to 232. Let that be your, guide, and make sure that you always have cash on the side to take the opportunity to average down. Okay. So that's C. Next up is Space. You guys know I've been bullish on this name, but I did draw this channel and it kind of lost it. This name always tends to have an excuse on a technical breakdown. I don't know what the earnings are going to be. Seems like it didn't do any effect last time. It's more of the launching, like I think it delayed the launching and it went down. Um, I don't like this breakdown, honestly. I think it probably could pull back down to 47.16. That would be to see if it bounces off. And I warned people. So a lot of people think, I'm full of crap, and I message, and I don't want to go into Twitter and search, but I and I don't like to say I told you guys so. But what happened here on the 61.8? I went on Twitter and said reached our goal. Get out. I'm not telling you to sell when I say reach my goal. That's your business. I don't care. But when something hits our target, it usually meets with a pullback. And this stock is not a bad stock. And I told you guys that my ultimate target on this one was 73.88, and it still is. It's just that the stock is waiting for news. And that news, that rocket launch or, whatever, the spaceship launch has been going on and off, and it's frustrating the heck out of me. I mean, come on, go ahead and launch that. If you either get it or not, just freaking launch it. And it doesn't matter. And in fact, if it fails, this is what happened. It failed. It went up to like 32 something right here. And the launch didn't go up as much as, it was considered, I think at a certain kilometers or I don't know, meters um, above the sky, it's not considered space. So it couldn't reach that, parameter or the boundary. So it kind of like collapsed here. But that's always a buying opportunity, and the stock will always give you guys a buying opportunity on these collapses, and you just have to be patient. If it does. So you see this top, 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 and top. I would not be surprised if it goes down to 41.60, and that would be your buying opportunity, an averaging opportunity. I'm not sure if that event is going to be the earnings event, but that's going to give you what I usually like to believe is this, right? Every time you see a big drop and it drops to 23, especially in this stock, wherever the low is, it tends to go up 100% or more. So if it does go back to 41s, I bet you it's going to see $95. This is a stock that just, takes away from the impatient, and the patient gets that and they make money off of it. I caught this thing around like 17, somewhere around here, and I sold it at the cloud top. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And it came back and gave me that opportunity, but I never got in. I got into Palantir and got stuck there, so I couldn't buy this. Gave me another opportunity, and watch my videos on space. I kept telling, let it touch. People were buying it here. I said, let it touch the cloud, let it touch the cloud. As soon as it did, bam. So the same again, I'm saying the same thing. Let it touch the cloud. Don't jump in. That cloud area would be like anywhere from 43 to 41 area, and you might see another 100%. But you got to see that the bottoming formation, and you never want to catch anything off of these drops. It could get to 46. It could get to 41. It could burn you. You have a position, I'm not telling you to sell it, but it's a good, averaging down opportunity down here for another next 100% move up. And it had done that. 17, so it dropped from 25, 24 to 17. From 17, it went up to 36, 100% or more. Okay, dropped from 21 all the way down to 14, went all the way up to 27, 28. That's another 100%. From here to here, 100%. From here to here, not exactly 100, but 50, and then it comes back and gains another 100%. Comes back, gains 100 plus more percent. So any dip, be patient, and I've told you guys that right here. Be patient, find the bottoming formation, and you'll make another 100%. Okay. So that's it for space. Our last stock to cover right now is UWMC. Okay. It seems like it's bottoming around the 881s, 890s, $9 range. A lot of people had asked me this before. I just don't have enough data to say anything. MACD still has not merged, and I'm not seeing any signals that would give me to say, okay, you guys buy it, or it's a buying. I mean, when I say you guys buy it, I don't really mean like go ahead and buy it, but like it's a buying, opportunity on the technical side of it. Now, what I'd like to tell you is look at the selling, 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 selling. I see very rare buyings, okay? Heavier selling than heavier buying. What I'd like to see in the stock is this. And this. So I don't want to waste time here, right? It could go up and down, until we get here. Then you get the bigger move. Now, anything I say here and the next day it gets a news and it goes like this, again, I don't care, because and at the end it's going to sink down here, because if there was a buying opportunity, the institutions or the sellers are not that stupid. Okay, I'm not calling the buyers stupid. It's just that in these names where it's right off, I believe this is like a spin-off SPAC, or if it's still a SPAC, I don't know. Is this a SPAC? I don't know. And it seems like it is. It might, because it was in the $10 range, went up to 14. Now it's under 10. Maybe you're asking me because of, they're going to give you $10 or something. So could it run up to 10? Yeah. I mean, I'm not an expert on SPACs. So if you're telling me like if this is still a SPAC, which I don't know, I'm not good with all the names, guys. I can't know millions of, whatever, thousands to 3,000 stock tickers. I know most of them, maybe 60% of them. But with this latest year, the 2000, 2001, SPAC mania and all these new IPOs, I can't really catch up with things. What I like to say is that if I don't see a technical, I don't buy. And I don't see a technical with this name. Therefore, I can't buy. Now, if you are in the name and you already bought it, I don't want to give you a target, because I don't know if SPACs work. I don't know if it's going to drop any further. I've never seen a SPAC being this low if it is. However, you do see an upside opportunity to 1028. That's all it is. I'd like to conclude, end the video here. We're under an hour, finally finished an video under an hour. Again, market is flagging. I don't see any major bearish moves on any of the major indexes. I don't see any bullish move on VIX to tell me that, okay, the markets are going to crash from here. Yeah, the yields and the bond yields have increased and so forth and blah, blah, blah. But again, we're going to get liquidation. We're going to get inflation. Market is hyped. Market is overvalued. Yes. Market is in a bubble. Yes. You want to ride the bubble. You don't want to let it go. We'll be able to tell if the bubble bursts. It's not going to be a bubble burst and 100% decrease in a single day. The technicals will be able to tell us that. So till the bubble bursts, we're in the bubble. That's all I got to say. Have a great day. Enjoy your family and take care of your health. Okay? Stay healthy.